Hello there folks, today we're taking a look at the game called When I Dream. It's published by Drawlab Entertainment and the designer is Darsaklis.
This game is all about sleeping and seeing dreams. In this game, one player is a dreamer who puts a sleeping mask on and sees some dreams. Other players are the dream team or dream spirits. There are some good ones and there are some naughty ones who want to mess up your dreams.
Yeah, let's take a look at how the game works until I fall asleep.
Thanks.
When I Dream is a real-time word guessing game. When one of you will become a dreamer, he'll put this mask in front of his eyes so he cannot see anything. The other players will have the role cards, so we have fairies, we have imps, and we have tricksters. Now, based on the number of players, we'll have a certain amount of each of these roles. We'll shuffle them, give each role to each player, and they will look at it secretly, so we can start. So as I told you, one of you is a dreamer, so he will try to guess the words. The others are giving clues. And the thing is that the fairies want the dreamer to guess the word right. The imps want dreamer to guess the wrong word, and tricksters are trying to sort of bring the balance between the two. So tricksters are a little bit tricky and they will score points a little bit differently. I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. Now, in this game you have a sand timer. It's 2 minutes. We lost the sand timer in our copy, so we use the phone, basically the same. So you'll start the game by having this, each one of you has his secret role. The dreamer is ready. You'll put the sand timer on. The time goes. Now, you will reveal a card from the central pile here. Everyone sees that it's a shark. Now, starting from the next person from the dreamer, each one of you will give a one-word clue about this upper word. We're not looking at the bottom words because they are for advanced players, something like that. So let's say we're going to look at this one. So it's shark. So the first person says fish. Then somebody says ocean. Then the other player says bubblegum. You see, maybe he's an imp. He's trying to for the dreamer to guess the wrong word. So the dreamer can sometimes hear who might be the imp or something like that. So, and let's say you can have mostly 2 rounds of these one-time clues that you can give, and then the time should be stopped for a moment, and the dreamer has a sort of a option to guess now, and he must guess right away. If he guesses right or wrong, you'll put it on this or this one pile. Let's say based on all the clues that players have given, the dreamer says shark. Oh, we don't say anything to the dreamer. He doesn't know if he guessed right or wrong. We'll go to next card. The time goes on. We go to next card. There is a baby. Okay, somebody says human. Somebody says robots. The third says speaking, and so on, maybe. And then let's say the dreamer tries to guess the words. He says woman. No, it's wrong. Okay, and we'll go to the next one, and so on. We'll go throughout this game where other players will give you clues, and the dreamer needs to guess these words. He doesn't know if he has guessed right or wrong all these words, but at some point we'll have sort of a pile of cards, let's say here. So the time is done, 2 minutes are done. We have these 2 piles of cards. Some of them are guessed right, some of them are guessed wrong. Now, the dreamer, without taking off the mask, will now tell the story based on all the words he guessed. Even if he guessed them wrong or right, he doesn't know. He will try to combine all these words that he said into a story. And if he says all the words right, he will also get extra points. But basically, usually, it's really hard to get all the words right. But now, so he will tell the story. Usually, it's just a thematic and, let's say, interesting sort of a improvising part of that game. Now, he said the story, he didn't get all the words right, and now he will reveal, he will take the mask off, and then now we will see. So, everyone will reveal his role. All imps get points based on how many cards are in their pile. All fairies get points based on how many cards are in their pile. Now tricksters are tricky, as I told you. Tricksters go like that. So if there is a difference of piles, the difference between two piles is just one card, then the trickster will score the bigger pile. If the difference is two cards at least or more, then the trickster will basically score the lower pile. If it's equal, if the two piles are equal, the trickster will score basically one of these piles plus 2. And you will have all of these points, tokens and such. And then the next person becomes dreamer. And when all players have been a dreamer once, the game ends. And whoever has the most of these points is the winner of the game. So you saw the overview, and now we're gonna give you our thoughts on this game.
So first of all, artwork is absolutely amazing. It's
Yes.
Vincent Dutre. And Z once mentioned, and I think we both agree that the art is not needed at all, but I really do appreciate the art here. It's beautiful and it combines two words, so it's really like crazy dreamy. And
Yes, it adds the theme, and what I want to say also is that it also makes it easier for you to come up with a clue when you look at the picture. Even though you know how, for example, the zebra looks, when you look at the zebra on this picture, you come up with some extra words. And
it's easier to visualize, and especially as you have to give the clues like right away.
Yes, it helps.
Yeah.
The art helps, I think.
But hey, like, which one do you prefer? Do you just prefer as a dreamer just to close eyes, or put on this awesome and beautiful dream mask? I think this is cool. I really do think, and I appreciate the components.
And as I told you, the artwork and those components, they add to the theme of the game. And I think this game is thematic. To be honest, you're a dreamer. You're dreaming something. You put this whatever the clap on your eyes, and then you feel like you are seeing some splashes, some word. I mean, like these are the words, but you're seeing some splashes, some clues. And you're trying to understand what's this dream about. And the dreams are weird. When you end, at the end, you also tell what did you see.
Yeah, you have to recall.
Out of all the words.
And it is actually so hard.
Yeah.
And hey, that's actually like in real life, it's often really hard to remember what did you see.
Yeah.
You might remember that hey, it was like a super weird dream, but you don't remember
I saw a shark. She was riding a bicycle. While the cheetah was laughing at her, whatever, you know. It's weird, but it adds the theme.
Fun part of the game as well. It always sounds like, hey, there was a really horror, weird dream, and then it's funny to listen.
But now, when we go back to the game itself, to the mechanics, there are roles, imps, fairies, and tricksters. I think at some point. It might be too easy to understand who is who, depending on the players, of course, how they give out clues. But if it becomes too easy to understand who is who, then the game suffers, I think, in my opinion. Because if you understand that he's imp, you will never listen to him again. That's the thing. But
it's easy to understand who is who only if you're in the dream team. So dream team, I mean, like you're either imp, fairy, or trickster. If you're the dreamer, it's actually really often hard to understand.
Depends, yeah.
But if you're in the dream team, it's no problem knowing who is who. It's completely fine. But I had a problem with the trickster. So if you're a dreamer and you try to understand who is who, for example, I have eyes closed and I'm trying to understand who is giving the good clues, and then I realize, hey, he's giving like something super odd. I'm not gonna listen to him. Then I'm gonna let's say I'm gonna black out that person, but on the next round, I'm thinking like, hey, I'm blocking out that person, but he was trickster and he's now helping me, and that can confuse the hell out of me. So
yeah, but I do like trickster. That's the thing. Trickster adds the spice to the game, because sometimes the trickster is the one, as I told you in the scoring. He needs to balance out he needs to balance out the cards. So sometimes he needs to give clues that will lead the dreamer to guess the wrong word, sometimes to guess the right word. So it's I think it was most interesting to play the trickster for me.
Yes, if you're in Dream Team,
It wasn't interesting to play
playing with
fairy or
Trickster is cool. But if you're a dreamer, Trickster is the one that I'm thinking, hey, is it actually really needed in the game? Because if you're a dreamer, it's too complicated to understand, and it adds even more to that.
Yeah, though I think playing imp wasn't interesting at all for me, at least. I know with the imp you have to give clues so that they still resonance, and they give you sort of a right clue, but they're leading in the wrong place. Like there was an example of cherry. Cherry was the word, but you need to sort of give clues so
to
the
like
dreamer
the strawberry, so not like completely, not like cherry and zebra.
Yeah, if there is a shark, if all the players say, for example, we had a similar situation. Somebody says fish, then the next person says ocean, and then the third person says bubblegum.
Yeah.
What? You know, and then you understand. That's the thing. I think it depends on the players as well and how you play as an imp. Some imp players might be really uninteresting. Some players, I mean, who are imps during the round. So I think it heavily depends on the players who play this game and how you play it. But I think that's the thing. Some people are, I'd say all the people are different. And I want the game to adapt to the players rather than the players needing to adapt completely to the game.
Yes, and I agree with the part that game really relates on the which players you have. And I don't think it's like super cool social game if it's fun with some people and it's completely not fun with other people. So
yeah.
So I had a couple of problems with the game.
Okay.
It's a complicated idea, so just try to understand me.
Follow her.
Try to follow me. So I think it doesn't scale well with 4 to 10 people. So if you have 10 players and you have, let's say, 9 players in the dream team, and you can guess up to 2 rounds of the clues. If you listen to 2 rounds of the clues, you might get a nice overview of the clues, of the word, and of the idea who is who in the team. Who is imp, who is fairy.
Listen to...
But within 2 minutes, you'll get to guess only a few words that way.
Yeah.
If, on the other hand, you decide not to wait for the whole even 1 round of the clues, you might guess more words, but you will not understand who is on which team, which you need to understand.
Yeah.
So if there are few players, and let's say there's 4 players and only 3 people in Dream Team, the 2 rounds is only 6 clues. Hey, that might be not enough. So I'm not sure exactly what I would change here.
Yeah, but, in my opinion, more players means messy.
Time.
More players means it's more messy. But on the other hand, more players, in my opinion, that depends on the group as well. So everything depends on the players themselves.
Way
players,
too much depend on the players.
Yeah, probably. More players means that it's more interesting to play as an imp and as a trickster, I think. With less players, it's not as interesting. But on the other hand, with less players, you can easily understand who is who. With more players, it's probably not that... They won't reveal themselves that easily if there are more players. Because if you listen to 8 clues, right, one after another, it becomes messy, which is cool. I would like that, but on the other hand... And so, yeah, the problem is that then the time runs out. So what my suggestion was, the timing should be variable for different counts of players.
And maybe amount of rounds as well.
Maybe amount of rounds, yes.
2 rounds in a 10 player game is like certain amount of clues. In 2 rounds in 4 player games is just 6 clues.
Yeah, it's like basically when you have 10 people, it's 2 minutes. When you have 4 people, it's 2 minutes.
Same amount of...
It's weird. It should be more. It should be more minutes with 10 players. Maybe, I don't know why. It just should give out better clues so everyone could have at least 1 round that he can say. Because if the time runs fast and then you guess the clue after the 5th player said something, then the other players won't even have any chance to say anything, and maybe they are imps. because it depends who sits
and
where.
it's really good
if you follow me, if you can understand my.
Yeah. So, and it is good if every single player gives out clues right away, let's say 1 or 2 seconds. But if one of them is thinking longer,
Yes.
it takes time away from the dreamer. Yeah, I understand 5 seconds, but hey, 5 seconds can be quite a lot actually. So if one of the players has the block out, it still affects so much the dreamer, and it takes away the fun.
Yeah,
So-
yes. On the other hand, I do like the tight timing of this game. It's good. It adds to the tension. It adds. It's brain burning game in my opinion. When you have like let's say the rule says if you can think only 5 seconds until you have to say the clue.
Then next one can take over.
Then the next one can take over. That's the thing. You look at this picture, you already think about your word until your order comes, but then your order comes and you're like, oh, what should I say?
Or someone right before you took away your clue. So that can be. So it's better if you think
that
always
too, and it can be with more players. So I like the brain burning aspect. I like the tight timing. It just needs to be variable depending on the players. So
I agree. I like that the timing is tight because you can't even imagine how hard it will be for you to recall all, let's say, 4 or 6 words that you guessed. It's hard, and it's because of the tight timing. So my second problem with the game is that within one game, you're a dreamer only once. So you have only one chance to guess the clues and only 2 minutes. And in most of the times, with most of the players we were playing, everyone's like, hey, the game is fun and seems easy until you put the blindfold on. Because then it's like, hey, you're lost. You're suddenly lost because you don't see any faces. You're just hearing the clues and you don't understand who is who. And you don't see any picture. So
yeah, it's really interesting to play a dreamer. He's the core thing, I think, of all the game.
So mostly you have the feeling that by the end of the 2 minutes or at the start of the second minute, you might get, okay, so I got the beat. Let's do it now, and it's over. And you don't get a second chance within the same game.
Yeah,
the game plays long enough that usually you don't want to play a second time, so you still get this one chance.
If you play with 10 players, then the game lasts until everyone has been a dreamer. So think about that. Now, we have 10 players, 2 minutes per dreamer. It means 20 minutes, but there is some extra time that you need to do. So it's around 30-40 minutes for such a light filler type party game. That's quite a lot.
Yeah.
Which means that if you add the second round of everyone being a dreamer, it will be like a 1.5 hour game.
I nearly no one wanted to play second time in a row, so...
Yeah, that's the thing. That's if like we played the 7-player game, I think, was it? Yeah, it was around 7 players. And if everyone was a dreamer, after that, the game felt long enough in order to end this game, but then you still wanted to be a dreamer once again.
To have that second chance, because you only
I understand that, yes.
You only now understand how to guess the words, so you got the beat too late.
Yeah, overall, I still do like the game. I like the thematic part, the artwork adds to the theme as well. And although the scoring here is a little bit ridiculous, fiddly, it should be fixed, I think, the scoring itself. I still like the game just guessing. I'm not looking at the scoring. I don't care if I win or lose, and I don't care about my scoring at all. I still like to give out clues. I like to be the dreamer, especially be the dreamer, because you close your eyes and everything just blurs. It's a satisfying experience, but my conclusion is that you need the right group of people. Very much so, you need that. And it's so hard because, I don't know, maybe some of you have big playing groups. I don't know, on Saturday evenings you gather all together, there's 20 of you, and then you can marry and play. We have only certain people who we play with, because we don't have, we do our evenings ourselves at our home. And that's the thing, if you don't have people to choose from, so you can choose the best group possible for this game in order to get a great experience, then it distracts from the game, or how to say, I don't know all the English words, but basically it takes away from the game.
Yeah.
So this game depends on the players a little bit too much. I would like to have more of that. but I still like the game, and I like how thematic parts and how all of this is implemented into this just a simple real-time word guessing game. Yeah.
I like the idea. I like the components. I like the look. I like the fact that they managed to make a word guessing game actually thematic.
You like to like.
But I had too many problems with the game.
Okay.
I think that's my conclusion. I had too many problems with this game. And yeah.
All of these problems that we said in the final thought. So, should we go to our dice ratings, yeah?
Let's roll some dice.
I give this game 6.5 dice out of 10.
I give this game 5 dice out of 10.